Well, inviting you on a journey of just being there with me. Oops, let's not reveal all my private things in my flat. La 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 la. Okay, welcome everyone. This is Stream of Consciousness, a little life where I tell you about my life and some wisdom, keys of wisdom, some essential things that I have learned, things I've come to a conclusion to for now, or things also all about, let's add some light in this, yeah. Or also things about um, how you can change your reality right now in this moment. And at any moment when you watch this, I recommend you listen to this while doing something, while cleaning, sorting stuff, cooking, anything like that. Wow, beautiful how my hair does this thing. Okay. First of all, let me breathe before I get too nervous. Today I wanted to talk to you about, and this is going to be a bit of a preachy kind of video. Um, I'm going to talk to you about how it is no longer fun or necessary to keep certain, how should I say it? But to keep certain things in your life that are just not serving you. The reason why we're often fed up with life is because a lot of things are going on that we, first of all, cannot control, and because we mix up the things that we can control, cannot control, and our agency and options to navigate and move within that. Wow, I'm doing really good cooking my porridge while just talking and not cooking it. You're gonna see how great my multitasking skills are. Yeah. Anywho's. Um, let's clean this, just to have a bit more profesh. Let's add a little filter to our face. I don't know if that is even working. No, retouches, no. Just let me add a filter. They removed the filter option. One minute. Was heißt das? At least 1 minute of videos needed to start the highlight. Okay, that's not the highlight now. Anyways. Anywho's. Let me get back to myself about what I was actually talking about. I was talking about how to change your reality. First of all, it's good to assess and realize, hey, England, welcome to this live stream. It's good to get a little inventory and assess the current situation you're in by bringing also unconscious things to the front of your mind so they are more conscious. One way of doing that is through therapy. Another way is much cheaper through journaling. And through doing this thing is also called morning pages, where you wake up, you write 3 pages by hand without stopping, and even while you write, it's like a stream of consciousness, kind of what I'm doing now. You don't stop and you just continue. And that morning pages is from the book and the concept of the artist's way, a book by Julia Cameron. I really enjoyed it. It's about creative recovery and how a lot of your artist blockages have to do with fear. And in my case, also a lot of fear of succeeding or of the change that comes with succeeding. Let's put it more like that. Because my artistic ass likes predictability and sameness to a degree that I wasn't able to admit for the most part of my life, like to how much it is, like how important it actually is to me and my entire being. So let's start putting on those oats. Good. And basically, I said a few things just out loud to myself before starting the stream that now just left my mind, but I guess then they're not needed right now, or whatever spiritual thing people would say at this point in a live stream. Anyways, let me just introduce myself. My name is Yours, also known as Mangoranges. And on this channel, we talk everything mental health. Also, more and more about spirituality, about ADHD and autism, and just how important it is for us humans to connect with our emotions, because they keep so much inherent, deep wisdom and also ancestral wisdom in them, that it's really, in my opinion at least, a big, yes, I should take a deep breath, because when I talk so fast and I get nervous, then I don't breathe. Okay. Yes. Okay, we're back. And how to change your reality right now. I'm trying not to get lost um, with my ADHD brain and keep what this live stream is actually about in the front of my mind. All right, let's slow down my speaking tempo as well, because I'm nervous. I'm not nervous, I'm just excited. I'm excited to talk about this. Also, my ADHD meds are kicking in, which is good. I'm more productive doing my morning routine things. But so basically, it's important to take stock of what is currently happening. What is the current situation that I'm in? And what do I like about it? What I don't like about it? To assess that is the first most important step into changing anything, I think, or changing to evoke change. Then, when I looked at what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and you can also do that by walking, taking a walk through the woods, and just talking to yourself, or through the streets, whatever you prefer. And then it's also important to dream and think of what we do want in our lives, right? What we do want to happen, what we wish would happen. And here I want to bring in an analogy from my life, as what I've been going through has been very soul-wrenching pain of heartbreak, but also existing and becoming aware of certain childhood wounds that still affect me today deeply, and also dealing with the change that comes with when you have to let go of situations and people that are no longer serving, that are not bringing you peace or happiness to an extent that outweighs the negative. Let's put it like that. I have been so deeply, and I know many people have been going through breakups, especially relationship breakups recently. Recently. The whole last year, if we all think about it, I guess for most of us has been very impactful, because Pluto is Plutoing, doing all, I'm also into astrology. Like, a lot of this crazy stuff is happening that is a much bigger influence than we humans, than most of us even admit to themselves or believe in, or are aware of the extent of it. So this is cooking. Let me just turn this, put too much water into my porridge. Let's cook it a bit longer. So, and things I learned through going, and I'm learning through going through this heartbreak. I'm gonna be walking around. Also, my dress, ignore the thing, a part of it is missing, like a string is missing. The heartbreak I've been going through has taught me, I don't want to say the heartbreak has taught me, because I don't like the kind of notion and the belief of, yeah, we go, yes, we go through hard things to learn stuff, but that shouldn't be but I don't want that to be the justification for why this is happening, at least not in such a general way of, yeah, this happened because now I learned that. Like, I don't think that all bad things, let's not speak about all and nothing. Let me not do that, because I don't know your individual reality. You don't know mine. It's okay to be different, and I don't want to speak about in absolutes here now, because that's something I've learned, which has not been serving me. Speaking in absolutes is not, it's not for me. It's not the best thing that I can do. If anything, it upsets people. And also it upsets me when I generalize too often, too much. All right, this stream of consciousness. Really soul-wrenching, soul I can't even express it to you like maybe this movement does. Like I'm a dancer, you know, let's express it through movement. This soul wrenching part of like learning and understanding how much I actually long also, how my wanting it to be in a relationship doesn't necessarily have to do so much with, like also with wanting to be in a relationship with that person, of course, but it has a lot to do with a deep feeling within me of feeling like there's something missing. And I think we all know the feelings of how terrible loneliness can be, and how the longing for something or someone to to add to your life, ideally, how important that is to most of us. I think it's spoken about, but it's also romanticized in many ways, I feel like. And it's problematic when we forget that, hey, I'm carrying 10 massive thorns in my back from over 20 years ago, but now I'm going to go into this relationship, yes, with my stuff, and you come with your stuff, but sometimes things don't add up. It's like, it sounds logical, but I think capitalism, especially, and the world, has done an amazing job at selling me this massive, at selling all of us this massive lie of if you work hard enough for it, you're gonna get it. And if you believe hard enough in it, and if you do the thing, then it's all gonna pay off in the end. Or something like that, you know? This notion of working towards this thing where then everything paid off. And us humans, I don't think we often, I mean, no, let me not say that, that's not necessarily true. And that kind of privileged perspective of the world and how things work, don't get me wrong, I think it's definitely very important to keep a sense of autonomy and to do the things we can control in order to live the life we want to live. I think that is very important. But we cannot leave systemic inequality out of the equation. We cannot leave many prevalent problems in this society out of the equation, because they affect each of us every day, if we're conscious of it or not. White supremacy affects me and you every day, whether you're conscious of it or not. And that is also like a fact of the reality that I have to deal with in order to get to my goals, like at least for me it works like that, to my goals, to reach the things I want to do the things I want to do. Because it's like life feels like an endless picture. And I always said, I need water. I always said growing up, okay, I always said growing up that for me, getting older feels like I'm waking up. I said to my mom, even as a small child, I said to her, it feels like every year I get older, it feels like I'm waking up more. Like I'm, like really, like at first I'm in a state like this, then I'm a bit more like this, then I'm a bit more like this. And it's not to say that there's ever a point reached of a goal or like a big one epiphany and then it all makes sense and now it's like that forever. No, because believe me, and you know this, I'm sure you know this, life will prove us wrong enough times till the end of our lives that we never learned it all, and there's always something new that can happen that destroys the entire worldview we had from before or beliefs we held, in order so we can grow out of that and consider, the picture is here, yes, but it continues here and everywhere, you know? And it's like this infinity that I think is so beautiful and also like, whoa, about the universe, is how infinity shows up in our day-to-day life and how how our belief of that infinity has a limit, and not a conscious belief, but that belief, how it cages us in our day-to-day life in remaining the same or doing the same things. And that brings me to this overall title of the video, of this live stream, which is, how do I change the thing I'm in now? And let me tell you, and many people told you this already probably, but how I do it is I walk around, I do my things in the morning in the flat, I do this, that, la la la, and then I tell myself, or I ask myself, hey, you don't like what you're doing right now? Do you want to keep sitting down and watching the TV and living other people's lives through your eyes? Or do you want to, like, basically what I'm trying to say is, if you don't change what you're doing, nothing changes. We need to change, even if it's a tiny bit in our actions. Maybe today I don't put the apple here. Maybe today I put the apple here, so I don't forget to put it in the fridge after blah, 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 blah. Whatever, it's an example, you know? So it's like nothing changes if I try to remind myself, nothing changes if I don't change how I act. And that doesn't mean I'm doing a 30-day workout challenge now and I'm doing 2 hours of exercise every day. That sounds quite unhealthy, like if you go from 0 to 100. And to me it sounds unhealthy, you know, because I also come from a background, no, not a background, it's not a background. I used to have an eating disorder. I used to have a terrible illness. And yeah, to me, just exercising for 2 hours at home, and now it's a New Year's resolution. Like, to me, it sounds like, yes, I support people when it's your way of getting fit and doing what you want to do. But to me, that sounds very unhealthy. So I try not to change my life. What I'm trying to say is, I try not to change things by doing a 180. I do something by literally putting my glass here. Instead of here, I put it here. And I do this in tiny things in my day-to-day life. An example would be the order I do things in the morning. For example, usually I start by I brush my teeth before I shower. But what if today I shower before I brush my teeth? Then I learned, actually, wait, let me take the oats off the stove. They look oaty, edible, yeah, good. And it's like by understanding and trying that out, for trying this tiny minor seeming change. And every minor thing is so important, actually. Like little things we do in day-to-day life that we might think is not so relevant can be highly relevant and really influence how we feel for the next few hours or the rest of the day even, right? So I learned that I have to brush my teeth before I shower, because otherwise brushing teeth becomes this annoying thing, and it's like, oh, I haven't done this. And this is like a tiny change I implemented in my life by knowing this is an order that works for my brain right now. I repeat it, and I repeat it, and I repeat it. And also, a fun way to make changes, when you're quite used to routine, also like routine, is by planning a time spot in your routine of doing something different at an allocated time. And treating it like an experiment. Not treating it like, this is this thing that I have to do now for the rest of my life or for the rest of the year every day. No, I actually want to see how it feels to write an email in the library, and to see how I can get things done there, and only allow myself to leave from the library once I've done that thing. And I tried it and I didn't like it, and that's okay. But then it's like, also a concept I really like from The Artist's Way, this book I was talking about earlier, is taking myself on artist dates, which is basically a time, an allocated time, where you spend time with yourself, just with yourself. And that is a massive thing I've realized and learned, and that I'm trying to do, is romanticizing my life and my day-to-day things that I do by finding the fun in it or the excitement in it. And by that I mean doing things with myself that I would usually do if I had a visitor, a friend over. It's getting hot in here. I should open the balcony. But you're gonna hear me speaking, so yeah. Um, and so a thing that I like to, not a thing I like to do, but fresh air, we needed that, good. It's way too hot in this flat. Please, why is this so hot? Okay, now the window is open, that's good. A thing that I like to, thank you for staying, guys, although I just walked off, to open the window. Catch my thoughts, breathe, what was I talking about? Hi, I'm not German. By the way, I can't read all the comments because I get nervous reading live in front of people, so just so you know. What was I talking about? Oh my god. La la la. La, la, la. Yes, a thing that I did yesterday is I wanted to go to a party. I wanted to experience something fun or do something. And what I did is I have this big uncomfortable feeling every day of something like I'm quite super anxious. Like that's something that this breakup gave me massive anxiety. And so I tried to, I wanted to go to the party, but what I ended up doing is putting on music, having fun while trying to choose my outfit. And at the end of the whole thing, I got so comfortable in my own space again, in my home with myself, that I was like, actually, I could go out now. Wait, you should see how I stand. It's like I could go out now, but I don't know why I'm doing this. Okay, I could go out now, but actually, it's so cozy here. And actually, going into the cold outside where I live is winter. Is winter. I don't like winter, guys. I don't like it. Okay. And going out into the cold would actually, and I'm a generator, if you know about human design. I recommend you look up your human design if you want to get help on, or guidance, and really useful guidance for the rest of your life about how to make decisions. Human design really, really helps with that. And so basically I'm a generator. I'm an emotional generator. So for me, my human design tells me best ways I can make decisions to live my most authentic life, and also in a way that just astrologically, and also from the I Ching, and also some from Kabbalah and Buddhism, like all those different traditions come together in human design. It tells me my emotions have the final say, but I'm only allowed to listen to the emotions and make decisions through them after the wave has settled. Then I can decide. And I was in a chill space before I panicked a bit of this internal thing of big loneliness or big fear that something bad is going to happen. And it's not an irrational fear because bad things did happen. Like I am autistic, and since this breakup that I went through, the amount of meltdowns increased to an amount, and also sometimes crying cramps from the breakup and the pain that I would get into. And I also know it's not just pain I have from this relationship, it starts from childhood, as always. And something that really helped me yesterday was actually realizing, wow, there's something I can do in order to keep myself safe and feeling safe that does not require me to put myself into an uncomfortable position, which would have been, in this case, going to a party that kind of looks appealing to me, but also not really feeling the adventure of going there, you know, on my own. Like, but not doing that to escape and walk away from that inevitable feeling that comes to me every day these days of, I don't know, I can't even describe that feeling to you, but it's a loneliness, a soul-wrenching missing of even having a sibling. And I am an only child. I used to be an only child. I have younger siblings now. But I always wanted a bigger sibling when I was a child. Just giving you an example here, yeah? So you understand more of the depth of it. The depth of it, yeah, it's quite deep. I always had imaginary bigger siblings as a child and also a twin. I had a twin brother and I had imaginary big sister, big brother, and also a golden retriever, which is funny because I have a golden retriever now. Her name is Rue. She's so cute. I was like, I manifested her since kindergarten. Cool. And when I was 23 or 22 years old, 23, I think. No, yeah, 20, when I was 23, 24 years old, no, 23, she came into my life, my golden retriever, and it changed a lot. It changed a lot for this feeling because I also got her after, not directly after a breakup, but I considered the decision for long enough. But so basically, let me close the window again. What this evening, yesterday, taught me is that it has a lot to do also with feeling hopeless and feeling extradited to my circumstance and surroundings, and to that feeling that then takes literally over my whole body and being. And I weep and weep and weep. And if I don't pull myself out of it somehow or call someone to help me pull myself out of it, then those crying cramps I get or those meltdowns can last for hours. Like, it's terrible. And it's not a bit of crying, like it's like weeping, like it's an all-encompassing pain, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And I've known this pain for a long, long time. So this is also not a new pain. But just through the breakup, what happened is that it came forward again in a new way, because now the significant other person that I thought I would spend a long time of my life with is just gone, right? And yesterday I realized, to circle back to that, how actually I was able to self-soothe, but in a way it didn't feel like annoying or stupid. Like, you know, like sometimes when you hear people say, give yourself affirmations, talk to them in the mirror. It's not, I'm not saying that is stupid at all. But to me that sometimes might feel stupid, like to, when I'm really distressed, get myself to a position where I then say stuff to myself in the mirror. But yesterday was actually a self-soothing by watching also my favorite comfort series right now. I can highly recommend Blind Spotting. It's a really cool series. Oh my God. And it was not even just self-soothing what I did yesterday. It was actually having a fun time with myself in my apartment, putting on music, having some dance around time, and then watching the series and then just doing my thing. And yeah, it shouldn't be a surprise, but surprisingly it worked. It really worked. And by telling you this, I want to remind you of the endless, but let's not call it endless, the many options you have today in deciding what is this one thing that really upsets me, or that I want to, where I want some change to occur. It doesn't mean you're gonna change the thing right now today, but it can mean, let me take some water. But what it can mean is that it gives you that little sense of agency back in your life by deciding, today I want to put my glass instead of here because it annoys me every day when I put it here next to the dishwasher and not in the dishwasher. Today I might put it in the dishwasher. And then I'm going to do something fun right afterwards. That's the key part in this whole concept that I'm presenting to you in this live stream of changing your life today. is doing really small things and associating the thing that you do that also might be annoying, like doing dishes or laundry or whatever, something that a pile you've been putting up, looking at, or even if it's making yourself a meal and nourishing your body. Um, it does not have to be a big change, and you can do something fun right afterwards, like almost like a not like a treat, because I believe we should always, as much as is possible, do the fun things in life. And I'm very mad at the systems that uphold unhappiness in each of us, if we know it or not, if we know it or not. But those are massive forces, and by finding things we can alter, and control, control in a sense of also influencing. It doesn't mean controlling. It can mean um, influencing how stuff is arranged in your life. And the most important thing, and I'm telling you this now, is also when you have an inspiration, when something comes to your mind, when it's like, oh, now I want to do this thing that I didn't feel like doing for 3 weeks. Now I want to do it. Please put your phone down and do it right now and then and there. Because that is where we all get trapped again. And then I want to do this thing. I have the motivation to do this thing right now. But what happened? What happened to XYZ? Who liked my picture? What not? Who texted me? Um, and also by allocating some almost playtime, but it goes into the concept of the whole artist dates thing, of spending time with myself, of knowing, okay, if I have something that I need to get done, I know I need to turn the TV off. And then it's almost like also leaning on the concept of, and I haven't read much about it, but that's just how I imagine it, on the concept of reparenting oneself. And I think most of us can do a lot of, and if it's hard to look after yourself by imagining your adult self as yourself, and this is me, think of your small self as your childhood self. And reparenting that small little one in you is always there listening, and is always feeling what you feel. Sometimes scared, sometimes happy, sometimes terrified. And what you can do in order to change these things that you want to change is really going into it doesn't have to be a conversation with that thing, but at least listening, tuning in sometimes to, okay, actually I feel like drawing today, but I really cannot for the life of me find the motivation in getting up and sitting down at the desk. Then it's like, okay, what does my little inner, my little inner one, my inner little one need right now? What would be fun? Are my basic needs fulfilled? Have I gone to the toilet? Have I eaten? Have I drank water? Have I, looking at the base first, then continuing to the next. Okay, what do I feel like doing right now? And it doesn't have to be so systematic as well. There's really a intuitive flow that you can get into. It doesn't have to be a very conscious and strict thing all the time. But what it can also be is this beautiful intuitive flow thing that you can get into with time. Breathe. Oh, yes, I'll breathe. That's my thing. When I speak in front of people, I stop breathing. Breathe with me. It's still hot in the flat. I'm gonna open the window again. And yeah, I'm almost like, I think I've said enough. This is what I wanted to say. And now I want to make my porridge. Also, let me show you Rue. Let me show you my doggy. And I initially got a dog because I thought it's gonna help me take better care of myself when I have someone else there who needs me. And but I did do a lot of research before. I'm not saying get a dog to be less lonely, without doing the research and knowing what the responsibilities are that having a pet that you care for entails. And never do it alone. Never be pet parent on your own. I don't recommend it at all. I luckily have my mom, who is taking care of my dog as well. Like we both manage her together, but getting a pet alone, one that needs so much care like a dog, and exercise and mental stimulation and love and grooming and all those things, is not easy. So let me show you. This is us. This is Rue, and this is really us. This describes us, this picture. And here she's sitting in my swing. Funny. Yeah, I wanted to share that with you. And today, what I did in order to change my narrative of feeling stuck was feeling the inspiration urge and just putting on the live stream, not writing a long description, not making an elaborate thumbnail, not thinking the title to death. No, it was actually really plugging in this little mic, and doing the bare minimum to get the whole thing going. My battery's okay, tired, that's fine. And it actually worked. I'm now here, I've been talking to you for 36 minutes. I did not realize that. Wow, I should eat my breakfast. And yeah, I'm happy that I did that, because I was actually talking to myself out loud, then realized, let me bring this onto a live stream because it's kind of preachy and it's making sense. And let me just share some of those epiphanies. Maybe someone can benefit or be entertained by it, I guess. Yeah. But I really want to tell you, welcome to Mangoranges. This is an exciting channel where you can find a lot of my art films. It's all about emotional, I don't want to say intelligence, but it's about connecting to your humanness again, to your emotions, and also processing stuff through art. But my channel is basically about mental health. It's about, and I show it in an artistic way by little videos and short films I make. I say little videos. I'm actually a filmmaker. It's not so little. And I've been on YouTube for a while. But this consistency thing, I've never figured out how to work with it, or a way to make YouTube work for me, that I can actually build up a proper platform. Breathing. And the following. And it saddens me. It almost makes me, it doesn't make me feel like I've failed, because I'm still at it. But consider subscribing to the Mangoranges fam. I think you're gonna like it here if you enjoyed this, because there's lots more of me on my channel. And I'm gonna eat my breakfast now. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful day, evening, or night. And breathe. And I hope that you're taking care of yourself.